Hello students, we have seen how Slutsky and Hicks decompose the price effect into income and substitution effects. Using these methods, we can also explain the nature of the commodity. By nature of the commodity, we mean the response of the commodity to change in price or change in income. Based on these criteria, there are three types of commodities. One is a normal commodity. Which behaves quite normally. That is, when price increases, consumption falls, and when price falls, consumption rises. And income effect is also positive. That is, when income increases, consumption of the commodity increases. Substitution effect is also positive. When price falls, consumption increases. Actually, mathematically, the substitution effect is a negative value because when price falls, consumption of commodity increases, but here we are taking an absolute value for substitution effect, and so we say that it is positive because when we say that it is positive, when price falls, consumption increases. So there is a reinforcement from income effect. When price of the commodity falls, substitution effect is positive, more of the commodity is bought because it is cheaper, and so consumption of the commodity increases, and because the price has fallen, real income of the consumer has increased, and therefore consumption again increases. So there is a reinforcing effect from the income effect or substitution effect. So ultimately the price effect is also positive. Both substitution effect, income effect and positive, and therefore substitution effect plus income effect, price effect also becomes positive. Such commodities are called normal commodities, whose consumption increases when price falls. So consumption falls when price increases. The second type of commodities are inferior commodities. Inferior commodities are types of commodities whose consumption falls when price increases. There is no change with regard to price effect, because when price falls, consumption increases, and when price increases, consumption falls. But when we are coming to the income effect, we see that the situation is different. Substitution effect is positive for inferior commodities, that is, when price increases, consumption falls. But when income of the consumer increases, actually they reduce the consumption of inferior commodity. That is why we call them inferior commodities, because the consumer thinks those commodities to be inferior for some reason, and therefore when their income increases, whether that increases real income or nominal income, when their income increases, they reduce the consumption of the commodity. Okay, we have explained the case of such commodities, especially commodities with low prestige value. Okay, such commodities, in the case of such commodities, consumption can fall when their income increases. So these type of commodities are called inferior commodities. This price effect is positive, that is when price falls, consumption increases, but income effect is negative, that is when income increases, consumption falls, and the negative income effect is not sufficient enough to outweigh the positive substitution effect, and therefore price effect as a whole becomes positive. So here normal commodities are commodities whose substitution effect is positive plus income effect, which is also positive. So we get a price effect which is positive. In the case of inferior commodities, substitution effect is positive plus income effect is negative, because when income increases, price falls. But price effect as a whole, price effect which is a sum of these two effects as a whole, is positive because the negative income effect is lower than the positive substitution effect. The negative income effect is lower than the positive substitution effect, and therefore the positive substitution effect prevails and consumption of the commodity increases when price falls. The third type of commodities are given goods whose substitution effect is again positive, because every commodity will be demanded more when price falls, because it is relatively more attractive than the dearer goods. But here income effect is again negative, just like inferior commodities. But the thing is that this negative income effect is greater than the positive substitution effect. Negative income effect is greater than positive substitution effect, and therefore price effect is also negative. That is when price of the commodity falls or rises, or when the price of the commodity falls, consumption increases, and when the price increases, consumption falls. Such types of commodities are called given commodities or given goods. Okay, so these three are the categorization of commodities based on their response to change in income. Normal commodities are those whose income effect is positive. Inferior commodities are those whose income effect is negative, but the negative income effect is less than positive substitution effect. Given commodities or given goods are those goods whose income effect is negative and this negative income effect is greater than positive substitution effect, so that price effect as a whole also becomes negative. Now we will explain how these three types of commodities can be represented using Hicksian method. We can represent it either by Hicksian method or Slutsky's method, but here we are employing Hicksian method, that is compensating variation, to see what happens to the means how these three types of commodities, normal, inferior and given commodities, can be explained. Okay. So first we will be having a row at the normal commodities. How can we say whether a commodity is normal or inferior? Or how can we identify a normal commodity using the Hicksian method? We already studied Hicksian method of compensating variation. Already studied Hicksian method of compensating variation, and here we have a budget line BL. On the x-axis we have commodity X and y-axis we have commodity Y, and the consumer is in equilibrium at this point. Consumer is in equilibrium at this point. E worth is consuming Yx1 of X and Oy1 of Y. Now price of X falls, so as budget line rotates to the left, rotates to the right. Consumption of the commodity increases. The individual is on IC2 and is equilibrium at E1. Consumption of the commodity has increased from Ox1 to Ox2. So this we call the price effect, and this price effect is positive. When the price effect is positive, there are only two possibilities for the commodities. When the price effect is positive, the commodity can either be normal commodity or inferior commodity. Okay, it can either be normal commodity or inferior commodity. If it is a normal commodity, then income effect will be positive. That is, when a normal commodities income effect is positive and inferior commodities income effect is negative. So here let us see what happens when we are making an allowance for the increase in real income. So in order to make allowance for the increased real income, we have to reduce the real income in such a way that the consumer can be on the area indifference curve if he wants to be. This is called the compensating variation of income. So we have to redraw the budget line such a way that it shifts parallelly downwards and also is tangent to the initial indifference curve. So we will have a budget line like this, which we name as B2, L2. So this is the new equilibrium of the consumer, which we name as E2, and his consumption is X3. So here we see that price effect is equal to E2 E1. Price effect is E2 E1, which is positive. Then what about income effect? Income effect is movement from E2 to E1. When real income was reduced, the consumer was on E2. So that means that income effect is E2 E1. When real income is reduced, the consumer moves to E2, and therefore the income effect is E2 to E1. Income effect is movement from E2 to E1, which is also positive. So once we see that the price effect is positive, the only options are for the commodity either to be a normal one or to be an inferior one. If the commodity is an inferior one, the income effect will be negative. If it is a normal one, the income effect will be positive. So we are checking whether the income effect is negative or positive. We see that when we are making adjustment for the increased real income, consumer moves to E2, and therefore income effect is X3, X2. which is positive, and therefore the commodity is an inferior one, which is positive, and therefore what can means positive, which means that the commodity is a normal one. Normal commodities have positive income effect. So we say that this commodity is a normal commodity because income effect is positive. We have separated income effect and substitution effect here using the compensating variation and found income effect as a movement from E2 to E1, and therefore it is positive, and therefore we say that this commodity is a normal commodity. Okay, we see that we conclude that this commodity is a normal commodity. Okay. Now we see the case of an inferior commodity. By definition, we know that an inferior commodity is one whose income effect is negative, but the negative income effect is lower than the positive substitution effect, or it is not strong enough. It is not strong enough to outweigh the positive substitution effect. We will be again using the compensating variation of income used by Hicks in his analysis. We have the budget line BL, two axes. On x-axis we have commodity X, on y-axis we have commodity Y. Then consumer's equilibrium given by tangency of the highest possible difference curve with the budget line, and we see that the consumer is consuming x1 or x1 of x and or y of y. Now we assume a change in the price of the commodity X. When price of commodity X falls, budget line rotates outwards. The consumer is in equilibrium at this point on IC2, which we name as E1. Now the consumer has increased the consumption of commodity X to X2. So consumption has increased. This is the price effect. Price effect is positive, which means that the commodity is definitely not a given good. It is either a normal commodity or an inferior one. If it is a normal commodity, income effect will be positive. If it is an inferior commodity, then income effect will be negative. So it is a shootout between normal commodity and inferior commodity. We have to identify the income effect and the sign of it. If it is negative, then it is inferior. If it is positive, then it is normal commodity. So here we are trying to find the income effect. For finding the income effect using compensating variation, we have to make the budget line shift downwards and in such a way that the old level of satisfaction can be retained by the consumer if he wants. At the same time, the downward shifted budget line should also be parallel to BL1, so that the price ratios don't change. So we have a new budget line which we name as B2L2, and it is tangent to the area indifference curve at E2. And we see here that when the income effect was reduced, that is, real income was reduced, consumption is increasing from X2 to X3. In the earlier case, when income effect was reduced, by shifting the budget line downwards, consumption was seen to fall. That is, when real income was reduced, consumption fell. Here, we are reducing the real income of the consumer by shifting the budget line downwards to B2L2. When the budget line is shifted downwards to B2L2, we find that consumption of the commodity is actually increasing from OX2 to OX3. So, when income is reduced, consumption is increased. Income is reduced, consumption is increased, consumption rises. Okay, so that is a negative relationship or inverse relationship, and so income effect we get as a negative value. Income effect is negative, and when income effect is negative, the commodity can be either inferior or a given good. The commodity can be either inferior or given good, and you see that the income effect is X3, X2, X3, X2. Now we have to decide whether the commodity is a inferior one or a given one. By definition, an inferior commodity is one whose income effect is negative, but the negative income effect is not strong enough to outweigh the positive substitution effect. Here we are writing down the substitution and income effect. Price effect is movement from x1 to x2, x1 to x2 which is positive. Then income effect is movement from x3 to x2, x3 to x2 or x2 x3 which is negative. Why we call it negative? Because when real income is reduced, consumption is increasing from x2 to x3. Earlier days at E1 consumption was OX2. When real income was reduced, consumption increases to x3. Equilibrium is at E2, consumption increases to x3, and therefore when real income reduced, consumption increase, and therefore we call this income effect as negative. So income effect is negative. And now we are checking the magnitude of the income effect and substitution effects. We see that income effect is x2 x3 which is lower than substitution effect x1 x2. x2 x3 is lower than x1 x2. That is, income effect is lower than substitution effect. Okay, and such a commodity is an inferior commodity. Such a commodity is an inferior commodity whose income effect is negative, but the negative income effect is not strong enough to outweigh the positive substitution effect. So we call this as an inferior commodity. Call this as an inferior commodity. Now finally we have to explain a given commodity or given good using the compensating variation method. Okay. Again, we are making use of the same diagram. We will be making use of the same diagram. X and y axis. X axis we represent commodity X. On the y axis measure commodity Y. We have a budget line which shows different quantities of two commodities that the consumer can buy by spending all his income. The budget line is named BL. Consumer's equilibrium is given by tangency of highest possibility difference curve with the budget line. At this point, we know the amount of X and Y consumer consumes. Now he is consuming Y amount of X and Y amount of Y. Now we are assuming a change in price. Here we are assuming a downward revision in price. When price falls, budget line rotates to the right. Budget line rotates to the right. The consumer will be in equilibrium at another indifference curve like IC2 and the difference curve like IC2. At this point, consumer is in equilibrium at E1 and is consuming X2 or X2 FX or X2 FX. So movement from E to E1 is the price effect, because that is the movement the consumer makes when the price of commodity X falls. So this is the price effect. And what happens to the consumption of X when its price falls? When its price falls, consumption of X falls from OX1 to OX2. Consumption of X falls from OX1 to OX2. So this is the case of a negative price effect. And we know that the negative price effect, a commodity with a negative price effect is always a given commodity, because substitution effect will always be positive, and if the price effect has to be negative, then the negative income effect has to outweigh the positive substitution. Here we can see we are trying to measure the magnitude of income effect. For that we are using the real income of the consumer, drawing a new budget line parallel to the BL1 and also this is slightly deviated from parallel to the BL1. At the same time, it is also tangent to the first indifference curve. So this is the income effect. X2, X3 is the income effect, and we see that the negative income effect movement from X3 to X2 is far greater than the positive substitution of X2, X1, and therefore we call this as a different commodity. Here, price effect is, what is the price effect? Movement from E to E1 is the price effect. Movement from E to E1 is the price effect. E to E1, which is negative, because when price of X fell, consumption of X also fell from X1 to X2, and thus for price effect is negative. And from this result itself, we know that the commodity is a different commodity. But for completeness or perfection, we are finding the magnitude of income effect and substitution effect. Here income effect is when we reduce real income of the consumer the budget line rotated to V2 L2 and the consumer is at E2. Movement from E2 to E1 is the income effect, which is also negative. And what about substitution effect? Substitution effect is E2 is the substitution effect. E2 is the substitution, which is positive. And the positive substitution effect, E2 is less than negative income effect, E2 to E1. So we say that this commodity is an Giffen commodity. And here there is an easy method of drawing these diagrams, because when it is a normal commodity, the initial equilibrium will be at this point and the next equilibrium should be far greater to the right of the initial equilibrium, so that you can have a tangency between these two curves in between the first and second equilibriums. So the third equilibrium should be between the first and second equilibrium in the case of a normal commodity. In the case of an inferior commodity, the second equilibrium should be closer to the first equilibrium, so that we can have the third equilibrium to the right of second equilibrium. So that such commodity will be an inferior commodity. And in this case, when you are illustrating the case of a Giffen good, then the second equilibrium should be to the left of first equilibrium. Here you can see that E1 is to the left of E. And E2 should be to the right of E, so that income effect is negative and substitution effect is positive, and negative income effect outweighs the positive substitution effect, and we get the case of an Giffen good. Okay, so these are the differentiation of commodities on the basis of their response to income. Okay, there are three types of commodities: normal commodity, inferior commodity, and Giffen commodity. A commodity is said to be normal when price effect is positive and income and substitution effects are also positive. When price falls, consumption of the commodity increases, and when price rises, consumption of the commodity falls. Substitution effect is always positive for all types of commodities, because when price falls, it becomes relatively more cheaper than other commodities and consumer consumes more of it. In the case of a normal commodity, income effect is positive, that is, when income rises, consumption also rises. Inferior commodities are those commodities whose price effect is positive but income effect is negative, and the negative income effect is far less than the positive substitution effect. So here we will have a positive price effect, that is, when price falls, consumption of the commodity increases, but income effect will be negative, that is, when income increases, consumption falls, or when income falls, consumption increases. But the condition is that the negative income effect is less than the positive substitution effect, so that the total price effect still remains positive. The third type of commodity is Giffen goods. Giffen goods are those goods whose price effect is negative. That is, because the income effect is the absolute value of negative income effect is so high and far outweighs the substitution effect, price effect itself becomes negative, so that when price of the commodity falls, only less of the commodity is demanded, and price increases, more of the commodity will be demanded. Okay, so these where we finish the discussion of different commodities based on their various responses to variation in the income. Thank you.